Where are you going? What are you doing?
He might get caught out of position, Skip, but his makeup, his recovery is second to none. He can close ground like a man that size is not supposed to be able to move like that.
Well, they had his teammate, his much elder statesman, way up high on this list in Levante David,
right,
because he's way ahead of all the rest of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now let's go to the top of the list, shall we? So when I open this up, I will tell you this. Given Pro Football Focus's grading of Tom Brady this year, regular and postseason, I fully expected Tom Brady to be number one on this list, and it was your guy.
Yeah, I told you.
Well, you told me, but they didn't tell me, because all year long, just for the record, they graded Tom Brady number two in the regular season, but Mahomes was number 4.
Right.
Yes, Aaron Rodgers number 1. So it was 2-4 versus Mahomes in the regular season.
Yes.
In the postseason, Tom Brady has graded out, and again, he played 3 games to some 2 games.
Two Mahomes.
He graded out number 1 in the postseason. So number 2 in the regular season, number 1 in the postseason, and all of a sudden, to me, they copped out. They chickened out, and they said, no, it's Mahomes. And to me, their rationale, in my view, from a distance is, we look foolish if we put Tom Brady number 1.
Skip, I've been telling you, you look foolish saying that Tom Brady graded better, played better than Mahomes this year. You look foolish. Skip, the man threw 3 interceptions in the second half, and you said he had and if you just take, and granted, he went out early in the third quarter, but if you just look at the game at Buffalo, Tom Brady had no games in the postseason in which was as clean or as good as what Mahomes had against Buffalo. But you're going to say he graded better in the postseason than Mahomes? I don't see how.
Tom Brady in the postseason in 3 games had 9 big-time throws. Those are completions of 20-plus yards.
Right.
The next quarterback on that list had 5, 9-5. That'll work. In the regular season, Tom Brady had 36 completions of 20-plus yards. That was by far the most in the entire NFL.
Yeah.
So he led the regular and the postseason in big-time throws. That grades, that just shoots that mark way up in their grading system.
But Skip, he had the most attempts at big-time throws, but he didn't have the best completion percentage on big-time throws. So shouldn't that be, Skip, if I hit the most home runs and I have the most strikeouts, really? I mean, that's not the same as saying, okay, yeah, I had the second most home runs, but I batted .325 as opposed to somebody hitting 55 home runs, batting .272.
Okay, I got it. But look at degree of difficulty that Tom Brady just faced in the postseason. He had to go on the road against the number 2 ranked defense. I'm just going statistically, number 2 at Washington.
Yep. I'm gonna use what you did against me. The bubble situation. Because there were no home crowds, it's really not a home field advantage. Okay. That's what you used on me against the bubble with LeBron.
All right. Just remember the number 2 ranked defense in Washington and a pass rush that was at least top 5 because it is so deep in first-round picks. So that's what he's up against in game number 1. Game number 2 is against his arch rival and nemesis, the team that had annihilated and humiliated the Bucs in Tampa Bay the last time they had seen each other. That's the number 4 ranked defense in New Orleans, and he beat them and Drew Brees at their place, fans or no fans. I'll give you that. Then at Green Bay, there were some fans there. It sounded pretty loud to me because they let enough in that it would reverberate, and they made a lot of noise. That was the number 9 ranked defense, and that was Aaron Rodgers. So number 2, number 4, number 9 defenses, for what it's worth, on the road with no home crowd, nobody to back you up, against Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers on the road, and he still graded out number 1 overall.
Skip, a lot of part about being defense is being able to have the crowd into it. The crowd knows you can't hear the snap count. You're getting pre-snap penalties. I'm be able to jump the count. But if Tom Brady can go up there and says blue 19, ready, set, hut, and everybody can hear, I've lost the advantage of having the home field of what I fought for all year. Okay. So that's what you told me about LeBron. LeBron had the bubble that nobody else wanted to be there. He was able to lock in. So you can't say one guy benefited from being in an isolated situation while the other guy didn't.
Okay, so I actually love this ranking because Tom Brady does not miss a trick. He sees and knows all. He just will never respond to any of the above. He's as non-committal and non-controversial as any quarterback who ever played in a Super Bowl game.
Okay, Skip, this is what I ask you. If we say we're going to take Tampa and we're going to take the Bucs, general managers, and we're going to ask the other 30 general managers who played the best football this year, Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes, what do you think they're going to say?
I don't really care what they say. I know
so why we care what Pro Football Focus say then?
I don't know. It's just they're highly respected, highly regarded.
So general manager's not highly respected. See, this is what I'm finding out about you, Skip. As long as someone says something,
you're taking 43-year-old versus 25-year-old.
That's not the point.
Because they would think about, well, who would I want for the next 5 years?
No, I'm not talking about the next 5 years. I said the 20.
Okay, I'll take it right now. I will bet you Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch would sit back and say, man, I'll take Tom Brady right now. This game right here, right now. For your life, I'll take Tom Brady.
Yep, I ask you a simple question.
Yep.
Who played the best football this year?
Tom Brady.
Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady?
Tom Brady. Degree of difficulty off the charts. Tom Brady does not have a Tyreek. He does not have anything remotely like Travis Kelce. Not remotely like Andy Reid does he have calling plays for him.
He got 10.
Not remotely.
He got 10 of the top 15 players. That's what he got. That's what he got.
Okay.
That's Tom Brady. He got a roster that's deep.
Who would you rather have? Let's ask those general managers. Would you rather have Tyreek and Kelce?
You don't care what the general managers say. You just told me you didn't care what they thought.
I'm giving in to your logic here, right?
Okay. But let me ask you a question.
No, you didn't let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
But I told you, Tom he is Jordan-esque. He's just like Michael Jordan. He sees all. He just doesn't respond verbally. He responds on the freaking football field. And that's what he's going to do on Sunday night. Patrick Mahomes has been disrespectful to him for 2 weeks. He's one of the best, if not the best. Then he's the GOAT, with sarcasm, says Patrick Mahomes, because he thinks he's the GOAT already.
So you see,
that's fine.
So anyone that doesn't bow down to Tom Brady, they're being disrespectful to him.
Well, that kid is, after Tom Brady blessed him after the AFC Championship
We don't need to bless.
Okay.
We do what we do. Let me ask you a question, Skip. Can you tell me where the Chiefs offensive linemen that made this top list?
Well, obviously they're hurt. We'll see how that holds.
So how they go? So how do they help Patrick Mahomes in this game? Now I want you to tell me where their linemen are. Alan Marpet, he's 8. Tristan Wirth is 9. That's top 10. Those are guys that protect. As a matter of fact, as I'm looking at this thing, Patrick Mahomes does not even have an offensive lineman in the top.
Yeah, but he's the GOAT.
Oh, hold on.
He's off the charts. We've never seen anything like him before. So what's he need linemen for?
Oh, so Tom Brady. So what about Tom?
What about him? He's immobile. He's a 6th-round pick. This guy should have been the first pick in the draft.
Who?
Mahomes. Only Andy Reid saw it coming, traded up to what, 10 to get him?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So at least he's a top 10 pick.
Yeah, all I'm saying is, if you look at this, if you just going to base this on Pro Football Focus, and we using this as the barometer, it says of the top players that's going to take the field Sunday, the Bucs have the lion's share of them. That's what it says. So it tells me that normally what you try to do, you try to get the team that has the most good players. They normally win. If you don't, turnovers always come into play. But sometimes on a given Sunday, somebody turns the ball over, a fluke play here or there, and you lose. But if you look at it top to bottom, Bucs or mortality, this being an upset if the Bucs win is not the upset that you're trying to play it up to be, because what you're trying to do, you're trying to build more into it. That Tom Brady did the unbelievable. Skip.
Okay, time out. You're talking out of both sides of your mouth.
How?
You're telling me that Patrick Mahomes is much better than Tom Brady at quarterback. Far better. It's a joke.
Is this a skills competition one-on-one?
It's a joke matchup.
Let me ask you a question. Is this one-on-one Tom Brady versus Patrick Mahomes, or is it the Bucs versus the Chiefs?
Well, obviously, in the end, it comes down to quarterback play. Who plays the best in this game? And Tom's got to do more with less. More with less.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness. He doesn't have a Tyreek. He doesn't have a Kelce.
So let me ask you a question. So when he threw those 3 second-half interceptions, he did more with less.
Well,
no, his defense did more with less.
Okay, all right. But you say he threw those interceptions, so he clearly got exposed, you're saying, in the second half at Green Bay.
Skip, he turned the ball over. Ain't nobody exposed. What did he expose? He exposed, he turned the ball over. And his defense gave up 6 points on turnovers. Where his offense, where they turned Aaron Rodgers over, they got 21.
Well, I hate to remind you, but 4 years ago on this show, you said it was time for Tom to retire.
That's neither here nor there. We're talking about right now and the talent that Tom Brady has around him.
Okay.
So if he was so great, why didn't he take when did he take New England to the Super Bowl last year?
He was in decline, obviously. That's what the Hall of Famer told.
Oh, no.
In decline. Time to go home again. It's time to go home. 4 years, 3 years, 2 years, and 1 year ago.
This is what I noticed about you. Where it was all the receivers couldn't get any separation when he was in New England. He goes to Tampa. Tampa, now it's all Tom Brady. Oh, who is Mike Evans? Who is Chris Godwin? Who is this? And yada, yada, yada. So what you try to do is never Tom Brady's fault if they lose. It's all Tom Brady's fault when they win. I can't let you do that, Skip.
Well, I can't let you just throw the offensive line back at me, how decimated they are, because it sounds right now like neither of the Tampa safeties is going to be full speed or even a speed enough to play in the game. It sounds like both are very iffy.
I tell you what we do. I tell you what we'll do. We'll swap you. We'll take out our two safeties if you take out your two offensive tackles. We'll make it fair. We'll do it like that. You good with that? I didn't think so.
If it's Patrick Mahomes versus two backup safeties, God, that should be a mismatch.
Hold on, let me get this right.
Because Aaron Rodgers had two backup safeties the whole second half.
You got two backup tackles against JPP and Shaq Barrett. Wow. And they got 5 sacks on Aaron Rodgers.
Patrick Mahomes against those guys? Except you told me Aaron Rodgers is much better than Tom Brady, and I don't know what happened to Aaron in the fourth quarter, but he wasn't very good. He was like a sucking ear in the fourth quarter.
We saw what happens with pressure to quarterbacks. The same thing that happened with Tom Brady. We see him come in Super Bowls. What happens? He succumbs to the pressure. So this is not unique to Aaron Rodgers, although you would like to make it is.